This conference will now be recorded.
I'm trying to dim the picture. Hello, how you doing? Oh, this is
You're gonna get the ones for me if I remember to get them. We'll get. I know. I'm gonna get blue, and then I'll fight for the other ones to get them started. I know they owe you full. And
you got a few people that
I'm gonna plant four that I get, and then I'm gonna try to find out what we get. I don't even know whether we have a budget every year. Do we plant any trees? It's not big, but you know what I mean. Well,
usually.
I'll figure. Yeah.
We'll call this meeting of the Sedalia City Council to order. We'll begin with prayer and pledge of allegiance. Chaplain Matson, you have the floor to lead us in prayer.
As you stand disabled and join me in our invocation. Dear Lord and Father of all, we come to you this evening to ask your guidance as the Sedalia City Council, the mayor, administrators, staff, and members need to hear about and discuss important matters that make our better community. Their decisions help us all, and we are grateful for their dedication and service. We ask for protection for all of our first responders, police, sheriff, fire, and perhaps especially this evening in the fire department, a new full-fledged member, Ezra Steinmeier, is being pinned tonight to get his badge. All of the EMTs, ambulance, hospital staffs, all of them who work 24/7 to serve and protect us, often at the risk of their own well-being. We are grateful for the United States of America, our constitutional republic, for which so many have fought and died to create and preserve for 246 years. We ask your blessing and protection on all civilians and military serving our country today, both here and throughout the world, keeping our country safe from threats from without and, more sadly, threats from within. And now as we leave tonight, please protect us and our loved ones. Keep us from harm until we meet again. And all this we pray in the name of our risen Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Robinson. Yes. Oldham.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Bogus.
Here.
Hiller. Here. Cross. Here. Foster.
Here.
Bliss. Here.
First item on our agenda is a public hearing regarding the proposed fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. We'll go ahead and open that. If anyone has any comments regarding the budget, do step to the microphone, state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Makai Jazz, 230 South Ohio. I want to propose a budget for the Black History Museum, Rose and Nolan, the Black History Museum, for things like utilities. It would be a budget of just going straight to things like library necessities, agriculture. It would not go into the pockets of the people who are there. The person who's opening the library, her name is Ava Seaberry. Some of you might know Seaberry from Kansas City, and this is very important to the North Side, and it should be the whole Pettis County because, you know, Black history is American history, and yeah, this is extremely big. It was when it came out, and it is now in any time. So I feel like this should be some money put to it, so it doesn't have to close down again. I think it's a very nice place for youth and even adults, somebody to come over and see the place. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Having heard no further comment, I'll go ahead and close this public hearing. Up next, we have a public hearing regarding the City of Sedalia Midtown and West 50 TIF plans. We'll go ahead and open this public hearing. If anyone has any public comment, if they could step to the microphone, state their name or address, and they got 3 minutes. First, there's a report. Oh, we got the report.
First, I'd like to start off with a report on the West 50 TIF. If you'll recall, back in 2019, there was an amended agreement with the developer on this. Since then, Big O has opened, as well as Aspen Dental and Scooters. Excuse me. And in April of this year, Slim Chickens will come online and open their business. The remaining land to develop exists at West 50 in Maine at Oak Grove, and the assessed valuation added to the redevelopment project is $402,630. This figure will increase with the addition of the Slim Chickens assessed valuation. Those were the points that were forwarded to the state of Missouri in the November 2022 annual TIF report due to the state. The next one is the Midtown TIF, and that one, if you'll remember, had an amended agreement from July 2nd, 2018 that added the Laney Building project on Pacific. The Trust Building, currently under construction by the private developer, will be finished up in the next 30 to 60 days. The Broadway Arms demolition, which was another project of the Midtown TIF, is complete. The Ohio Streetscape has been completed. There will be additional streetscape as identified going forward that will be funded by the TIF. The Liberty Center will be reviewing submittals from them for their payouts. And then new businesses in the area in the past year that were reported to the state of Missouri include From Bleak to Chic, the Chubby Hairstylist, Happiness Handicrafts, Wild Jade, and Syndicate Armory. This project, this Midtown TIF, has added $3,959,170 to the assessed valuation of the district and has received payments in lieu of taxes since its inception of $1,446,482. So both TIFs have been producing as they were scheduled and identified.
Thank you for the report, Director Simmons.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment? Having heard none, we'll close the public hearing. The third public hearing we have is with regards to residential, commercial, and sewer rates and residential and commercial water rates. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing. If you have any public comment, go ahead and please step to the microphone, state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Lang. I live at 3401 Anderson Avenue, which is the Katy Trail subdivision. So I have a question for you guys. Do you want to clean up this town? Do you want to make it look better? Well, we have to start with our trash department. For one, our trash cans are absolutely the worst eyesore in this town. You guys think that getting those trash cans made this town better? It did not. They sit at the end of people's driveways. They sit in the front of people's driveways in front of their garage doors. They're the ugliest things around. That's one thing. You want to raise the rate. You want to charge us more money. That's fine, but I want better service. Right now, my neighborhood is trashed up the street from the trash cans and the hydraulic fluid that is coming out of the trucks. I just spoke with a neighbor that had some kind of grease that come out of the truck that they tracked all the way through their driveway. And they had to clean that up. Now, I pay a lot in taxes, and I keep my house looking extremely well, okay? I probably have one of the nicer houses in that neighborhood, and I want to keep it that way. But you guys are devaluing our property by allowing this stuff to go on, and I'm tired of it. The other thing is, I don't know how many times I've called down to the city because the truck drivers load the can, throw it over the truck, and it lands in the street. I stopped counting at 16 places one Friday when I went home to my mom on lunch. I had to go home to her house to give her physical therapy treatments because she tore her rotator cuff lifting her trash into her can. Now, we need to do something. I'm over. So it's your job to do it. I can't do it myself. But if you don't do anything, then that means you just continue to want this town to look as trashy as it is continuing to do. So it's up to you. But I'm tired of paying my hard-earned money for services I'm not getting.
Thank you, Mrs. Light. We'll check into both those items. Anyone else? Having heard no further comment, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Let's see, up next we have our final public hearing. This is regarding the annexation petition of Deerbrook Villas Phase 4. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Any public comment? Anyone wishing to address the council, please step to the microphone, state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
I'm Diane Simon with E.W. Thompson Inc., and we filed a petition. I just wanted to give you an update. This is Deerbrook 4, Phase 4. They're adding 38 units. They have 122 units right now, so we'll have 160 total units in Deerbrook. And they have 160 residents in the current part. So then I don't know how many of the new 60 or 38 will be, 2-bedroom or whatever. So it's quite a large housing addition for Sedalia, and we think it's another good addition to add this on.
Thank you, Ms. Stein. Any other public comment? Having heard none, we'll close the public hearing. I'd just like to go ahead and thank the public for coming out. Normally, we don't get a lot of feedback at these hearings, so to have a little bit here tonight, that was great. So thank you. Moving along, up next we have the special awards. We have Chief Irwin, you have the floor to take us through this.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? Last I was in front of you guys, we said goodbye to one of our firefighters as he ended his career. Tonight, we're here to celebrate a young man that is just starting his career. So I'm going to have Ezra come up. Where's your sister at? Where's your badge pinner? She gets to come. Sophie is his sister that we're pinning his badge. So a little bit about Mr. Steinmeier, right? Yeah. Okay. I found out today I've been calling him Stenmeier, which is completely wrong. So it's my fault. So a few things about Ezra. Before Ezra was actually of age to be tested and come to work for the city of Sedalia, he was already enrolled in our Fire 1 and 2 program. He was already enrolled in his EMTB program, and he was also enrolled in the Fire Science degree program through State Fair Community College. When the city of Sedalia and this council changed the ordinance allowing the city of Sedalia to hire firefighters at 18, Ezra tonight becomes the youngest member in known history to earn his badge and wear the badge for the city of Sedalia Fire Department. So he has a very big honor bestowed upon him this evening with that. The few steps that I mentioned just goes to show his drive and ambition to be a firefighter. He came in a number of times through the Fire 1 and 2 program and did an internship where he just kept coming back. I mean, he had met all the requirements, but he kept coming back, and we enjoyed having him. So it is my pleasure to give Mr. Ezra his badge this evening. Ezra, congratulations. No blood, she's not trying.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations. Good job.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the previous session minutes. This is from the council meeting dated March 6, 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Up next, we have the acceptance of the Citizens Traffic Advisory Commission minutes dated February 15, 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Now we have the roll call of standing committees. Up first is Finance Administration. Chairman Marshall, you have the floor.
I have 8 items on my report tonight. Up first is a resolution and an ordinance to approve the final budget amendment.
Do you have any council discussion regarding the resolution or the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the resolution.
Resolution 2018, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, stating facts and reasons for the necessity to amend and increase the city's annual budget for fiscal year 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-43, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2022-2023 regarding final fiscal year 23 amendments.
Second reading. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-43, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2022-2023 regarding final fiscal year 23 amendments.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham.
Yes.
Next is an ordinance to amend the sewer use charge. None of us like to increase these rates, but in order to keep up with rising costs and the replacement of our aging infrastructure, it will be necessary to increase these rates by 9.5% in order to keep these services operating. Much of the increase is to replace the North Wastewater Treatment Plant that the Department of Natural Resources has deemed insufficient by today's standards.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-44, an ordinance amending section 60-219D of Article 5 of Chapter 60, the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, relating to the sewer use charge system and incorporating said fees into the city's fee schedule.
Second reading. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you.
Bill number 2023-44, an ordinance amending section 60-219D of Article 5 of Chapter 60 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, relating to the sewer use charge system and incorporating said fees into the city's fee schedule.
Final passage. Second.
Roll call, please.
Bogus?
No.
Hiller? Yes. Cross?
No.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Thank you, council.
Next is the call for ordinance to amend the water use charge by 5% in order to keep up with the rising operating costs to supply water to our residents.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-45, an ordinance amending section 60-401 of Article 7 of Chapter 60, Code of Ordinances of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, relating to the water use charge system and incorporating said fees into the city's fee schedule.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-45, an ordinance amending section 60-401 of Article 7 of Chapter 60 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Sedalia, Missouri, relating to the water use charge system and incorporating said fees into the city's fee schedule.
Final passage. Second.
Roll call, please.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross?
No.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
No.
Next is the call for an ordinance to adopt the budget for fiscal year 2024. Council will be able to review the proposed budget worksheets again and make any final changes.
There is a summary on the screen there for you. We also have those spreadsheets available if you want to go back through them. Other than that, I think it's ready for your own consideration.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance or the budget, for that matter?
Well, we can discuss the one we opted to opt out of, the Prairie.
Oh, Pioneer Trail?
Yeah, Pioneer Trail.
We can if you'd like. That was $7,500.
Yeah, 77, I believe it was. Yeah. Did you want to put it back in? Is that what you were?
But I thought we were going to discuss a little more about that. We all felt like that we weren't gaining anything from being a member of it. But then, since we were opting out, they have decided that maybe they could try a little harder and maybe do a little more for us. So, you know, if we could prosper from it, then maybe we ought to think about reconsidering it.
I'll just offer, currently our dues are paid through June, or to June, I guess it's through May 31. So at that point, I think the message to send to them is they got till June to prove that it's worth the funds. And if it is, then we could come back to you and amend it at that point in time. Okay. Or you can put it in now and take it out.
That sounds good.
Yeah, we can always amend that to include that law.
Okay.
That's just coming across my desk today, so I would rather we talk about it at some point.
You want to talk about it now or in the future?
No, I think,
Revisit it?
yeah, let's,
I mean, I got to close at 4 o'clock, so. Yeah, I did too. And I was kind of promised that if we stayed in, they would regroup themselves because I just felt, I told them how everybody felt, that we felt the city of Sedalia was being slighted, paying its money in, and they were going with our money other places and not doing us any justice. Our people were having to do their job. And he said, well, they could reevaluate that and they would step up to the plate. So, you know, that's why I'm thinking in that direction.
Well, we please the council to revisit that then, possibly, last meeting in May.
Yeah.
Maybe if I could get a motion with regards to that.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
I got a second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, we'll bring it back to you the last meeting in May.
I apologize. I was looking at that spreadsheet and I thought you all were looking at it too. So.
Didn't he say it was 8,200?
Yeah. The last time we paid it, it was 77 something, and he said that it was going up. It was based off of population, and he said it was 82.
I was just curious.
Pardon me. Yeah.
I was just curious. Thank you.
Anything else council would like to discuss? Revisit?
Chris, I'm assuming this reflects everything we did the last work session.
Yes, sir.
Well, having heard none, I will call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-46, an ordinance authorizing the adoption of a budget for the fiscal year 2024.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-46, an ordinance authorizing the adoption of a budget for the fiscal year 2024.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Cross? Yes. Foster?
Yes.
Bliss? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
in approving or saying yes to this, I am then saying that, yes, I'm okay with the water and the sewer increase, and I am not. So I have to say no because of that against the budget.
Okay.
And Hiller.
Yes.
All right, thank you, council.
All right, each year as part of the budgeting process, the strategic planning sessions are reviewed and a plan is formed to accomplish the higher priorities set by the city council over the next 5 years. In keeping with our financial management policies to ensure prudent use of financing, the related debt is also incorporated into the plan. An ordinance is required to adopt a 5-year capital improvement plan.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance adopting the 5-year capital improvement plan? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-47, an ordinance adopting a 5-year capital improvement plan.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-47, an ordinance adopting a 5-year capital improvement plan.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss. Yes. Robinson. Yes. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller. Yes. Cross.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next is an ordinance adopting the revised financial management policies. These policies are required to be reviewed and updated each year. Staff and the Finance and Administration Committee have reviewed these policies and will recommend a few changes.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-48, an ordinance adopting revised financial management policies and repealing ordinance number 11-519.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-48, an ordinance adopting revised financial management policies and repealing ordinance number 11-519.
Final passage. Second.
Roll call, please.
Bliss. Yes. Robinson. Yes. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
As included in the proposed budget, the contracted services for economic development through the economic development of Sedalia Pettis County includes a $5,000 increase to $140,000. This is for the upcoming fiscal year. An ordinance is needed to approve the appropriation.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance authorizing the agreement? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-49, an ordinance authorizing an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Economic Development of Sedalia Pettis County.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-49, an ordinance authorizing an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Economic Development of Sedalia Pettis County.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Robinson. Yes. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller. Yes. Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss. Yes. Also in the proposed budget, the contracted services for the Scott Joplin Ragtime Festival through the foundation remains at $10,000. An ordinance is needed to approve the appropriation.
Any discussion regarding the ordinance authorizing the agreement? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-50, an ordinance authorizing an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Scott Joplin International Ragtime Foundation, Incorporated.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you.
Bill number 2023-50, an ordinance authorizing an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Scott Joplin International Ragtime Foundation, Incorporated.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall. Yes. Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller. Yes. Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss. Yes. Robinson. Yes. That is all I have.
Thank you, Chairman Marshall. Up next, we have Public Safety. Chairman Robinson, you have the floor.
We have the opportunity to get 5 new vehicles, which is a rare opportunity, since new vehicles are hard to get. Chief, would you like to address how we did this?
Sure. The last couple of years, we've had trouble obtaining and even bidding for police cars and the civilian side of fire vehicles. So the bidding came open early this year, which is a welcome sign that maybe things are returning. However, with the conditions we've had over the last several years, our police fleet is way behind in replacements. So this continues the replacement program through that. So it's a bid for 4 police vehicles and 1 fire vehicle, which is planned in the budget.
Any questions from the council for the chief? Thank you, Chief. Any discussion regarding the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-51, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a bid for the purchase of vehicles for the Sedalia Police Department and Sedalia Fire Department.
Second reading?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-51, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a bid for the purchase of vehicles for the Sedalia Police Department and Sedalia Fire Department.
Final passage?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller? Yes. Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman Robinson. Up next, we have Public Works. Chairman Oldham, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item tonight, and it's an agreement to upgrade our SCADA system. The water plants and distribution facilities rely on a supervisory control and data acquisition system, SCADA, to monitor and report the stability and quality of the products being delivered. The current package has been in use for 22 years and needs to be replaced and upgraded. So staff solicited bids and received 1 bid from Microcom Incorporated for $108,184, which also includes 2 spare controllers. So staff recommends approval of the purchase.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance authorizing the agreement? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-52, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for replacement of the supervisory control and data acquisition system for water treatment and distribution.
Second reading?
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you.
Bill number 2023-52, an ordinance authorizing an agreement for replacement of the supervisory control and data acquisition system for water treatment and distribution.
Final passage?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller? Yes. Cross?
Yes.
Yes.
Foster? Bliss? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman Oldham.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Community Development. Chairwoman Foster.
We have no report tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other business, we have the acceptance of the resignations. Call for the reading of the resignations.
We have one acceptance, Jan Summer from the Park Board, effective immediately.
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Now we have the appointments. Call for the reading of the appointments.
We have one new appointment to members of the City Council from Mayor Andrew Dawson, Jeff Wyman to the Park Board, completing Jan Summers' term expiring June 2025.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Next, we have the liquor licenses. Call for the reading of the liquor license.
We have 4 renewals. Mandeep Carr doing business as Sedalia 66 at 120 East 16th for packaged liquor and Sunday sales. John Swearingen doing business as J.A. Laney Manufacturing Company at 108 West Pacific for liquor by the drink. Scott Hewitt doing business as Colton Steakhouse and Grill at 4101 West Broadway for liquor by the drink and Sunday sales. And Daniel S. Fox doing business as Smoker Friendly at 1700 East Broadway for packaged liquor and Sunday sales.
Motion to approve and block.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Now we have any miscellaneous items for the City Council or City Administrator?
Yes, I'd like to, the young lady that spoke about the garbage cans, the City Council in Columbia is tonight considering whether to buy those cans
I think they had them before, they went to SAC, now they're talking about going back to CAN. I don't know what the solution is, but I understand what she's saying.
I believe, Community Development had a committee meeting this afternoon. They were talking about, developing, and this is just what I heard secondhand, developing a, door hanger that they were gonna go ahead and put on those, addresses where they've got people leaving those cans out, kind of remind them to go ahead and pull those back from the curb and try to eliminate some of that.
We had a very lengthy discussion about that today.
Cannot most of those be put in alleys? Don't most of our residents have?
Well, the trouble with the alleys is the equipment we use to pick those up with the arm.
Yeah.
You can't operate back there in those alleys, that arm will get hung up.
Yeah, it goes in my alley, that's why yeah. Okay.
Cool. Anybody else?
Yeah, regarding the alleys, I've been noticing, in particular our gravel alleys, there are a lot of potholes, a lot of washed out areas from rain. I know we don't run our trucks through the alleys anymore, and it might not get the maintenance it needs, but I'm thinking that at least once every year or 2 years, we need some kind of maintenance schedule to come through and at least rake the gravel, fill in the potholes, same thing with concrete, to repair the issues that are there, because nobody notices anymore because the trucks are just going in the street and up down the alley. But it's a big concern because a lot of our residents use alley access either for parking or to just leave the house.
Thank you, Councilman Martin.
I want to thank the young man that was, for the Boy Scouts are coming out here, and he's working on his merit badges, and, it's great to see young people come down and see how the city council's run. Thank you for coming down.
To the young man that spoke about the Rose Nolan Library tonight, that library has been here in Sedalia for several years. Ms. Marge Harlan was in control of that, and as we all know, illness has taken her away from that. I applaud the individuals that have contacted who they need to in order to be able to open that back up on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, starting, I believe, at 3 o'clock each day. If it were at all possible of us to figure out some kind of way to assist in keeping that open, because as I said, that was Ms. Harlan's baby, shall we say, that she birthed. And so now that she's not there, now that that money is not being put into that library as she had brought to it, it does need some type of assistance, some type of help in order to stay open. And if it's just trying to figure out how to keep the utilities on so that they can have it open, that would be a great thing.
I was going to catch you before you left and say, bring some numbers to it. We can't just, we need some numbers, we need some budget numbers. So bring some financial history to us. And
that's something we can have staff look at.
we can find a quarter.
Isn't that the Sedalia Historic Preservation Commission? Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Sedalia Historic Preservation Commission?
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. All right, we'll explore that. Anything else? All right. Now we'll go ahead and open it up to the public. Do we have any, this is our good and welfare portion of the meeting. Anybody from the audience have anything they'd like to address the council on? Step to the microphone, state your name, your address, and you got 3 minutes.
Hi, everybody. Steve Loury, 22735 Highway T. I'm here tonight, want to talk about the brush dump. Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for the use of that, for the amount of time we've had. Just found out just here recently, we were turned away. We can't use the brush dump anymore. And tonight I got a real problem with this, the way it's been rolled out. It seems like there's more questions now than there are answers, and that's why I'm here tonight. You ask them out there at the brush yard or whatever, and they say, well, nobody can dump out here, but there's absolutely 3 contractors that are still dumping out there. There's one right now, I understand he does work for the city. I'm asking you tonight what's been put in place, to be able to hold him accountable to just to the trees that he does for the city, as opposed to the ones he does on his personal business. Also tonight, it does make a difference who you're talking to about the reason why we got shut out in the first place. I'm talking about contractors. Some said it's a personal beef. Some of them are saying, this is, sort of, discriminatory from the fact is these couple, like I said, they're allowed to dump and we are not allowed to come in there. So, that's all wrong. I mean, either it's for everybody or it's not for anybody at all. And if, tonight, the other thing we've heard is, that it costs $75,000 a year to, bring a tub grinder in. If that's the case, well then, you know what? Then please give us an answer. I mean, there's nothing been rolled out here. It's been a full rollout. There's been no, radio announcements. There's been no newspaper announcement. There's been nothing. I just showed up at the wood yard. Actually, I volunteer. I pastor a church too, and I volunteered to take some other person's materials out there, and I was told that I could not dump. And I'm like, well, that's not right either. I mean, if I come there on a personal level, then I ought to be able to dump just like everybody else does on a personal level. So what I guess we're asking tonight is that, I don't know who rolled this out or whatever, but I'm asking you tonight, please, to consider, you know, if it's a cost that you want to charge contractors or whatever it is, because what's going to happen is, you know, if things continue on, you're going to get to the point to where, you know, even if you give us a fee, and that's fine, that's all going to be passed on to the nice citizens of this city. And when that happens, you'll have a lot of people who are going to have a wood yard, because they're not going to want to have to pay to have somebody to haul theirs out there to the brush dump. Another thing is,
All right. Thank you, Mr. Zinger.
thank you. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Again, my name is Cheryl Lang. I live at 3401 Anderson Avenue, Sedalia, Katy Trail. So this town looks god-awful for the fiber optics that are going through. It is utterly repulsive to drive down our city streets to see what these companies have done. In my personal neighborhood, for 6 months, there have been piles of dirt laying on tarps in people's yards, holes that are open for anybody to fall in, whether it is a child, a person, a dog, whatever it is. Why? You guys brought them in. The city brought them in. I'm told. You guys are getting kickbacks. The city of Sedalia is getting kickbacks for this fiber coming in. There's 4 fiber companies coming in that I understand.
I'll just stop you right there. State law, we have to give them access to our right of way.
Okay.
We didn't ask for any of them to come here, and I'm sure from the complaints that we've had, we prefer that they
Okay,
did.
that's fine if you're saying that, but here's another thing. They don't know where our utility easements are. I've dealt with 2 contractors that were going to go through the middle of my yard and not stay on the utility easement. Who's going to pay for my water sprinkler system when I go to turn it on in May and it's been broken? Because I'm not going to know that I have a leak right now because it's been winterized. I'm going to have to pay that. That's going to cost me more money. You people have to do something about this. They damaged my mom's yard, my neighbor's yard. I mean, it is ridiculous. A coworker's sewer was hit last week and they had to repair that. If my husband wouldn't have located cable and our gas line, they would have hit our gas line in our yard. But because my husband's job, he has a locator, just like these guys are using on a ditch witch, they didn't find it, but he found it. So what are you going to do about it? Our city looks horrific. It is terrible. It's embarrassing. We had how many hundreds of people in over the weekend for a dance competition at the fairgrounds? There is no place in this town. There's flags everywhere. There's sidewalks, there's streets, there's driveways, everything is marked up. What is going to happen, really quick, what is going to happen when it's summertime and these yards need to be mowed and they're full of flags? You're going to have, 10 feet of grass.
Thank you, Mrs. White. Anyone else? Come on.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
My name is Dan Lowe, and I reside at 510 West 4th Street, and I've lived here since 1983. I'm going to just read this because I'm not very good at public speaking. I appreciate this opportunity to bring before this body a concern I have for the safety of all Sedalians, as well as those from other locales who visit and shop here. We have a problem with dogs running loose in our town. I myself have been attacked by dogs on 5 different occasions and bitten twice by dogs in Sedalia and 1 in Greenridge. In each case, I was always on a public sidewalk or right-of-way, or at my home standing on my own property. In other words, I had the right to be where I was, but the dog did not. All 5 attacks were unprovoked. That seems to be the nature of the animal. It's unpredictable. It bites usually out of fear, but there are some dogs more vicious than others who will happily finish you off if given a chance. About 5 years ago, a dear friend of mine, weakened by cancer, barely fought off a pit bull attack that surely would have ended her life had it not been for a good Samaritan neighbor who came to her aid. Even then, it took multiple stitches to close her wounds. I was able to shoot and kill one dog as it attacked me, and shot and missed another, but still scared it away. But ladies and gentlemen, who wants to shoot any dog? And why are we in a position where we have to? It's life or death. A pit bull, we have no chance. In all likelihood, that animal's someone's pet. And it just makes you sick when you do it. Anyway, the dog that bit me 2 years ago that I filed 2 complaints with at the Sedalia Police Department still roams at will around my neighborhood and once trotted right through my yard within 10 feet of my young grandchildren as they played. Friday, it ran through my yard again. Why? The dog owners are known. The dog owner's address is known. Sedalia's regulation regarding confinements of dogs is found in Section 8-143, and it's very clear. No person keeping, harboring, or owning a domestic dog or cat shall allow such a dog or cat to run at large off the premises of the owner unless such dog or cat is on a leash and under control of some competent person. And by the way, that competent person must be at least 17 years of age and have full control of the animal. I can't tell you how many times I see kids 12, 13, maybe 14 years old walking dogs, sometimes 2 or 3. And you know they don't have any control over that animal. Thank you.
We'll check into that, Mr. Lovell. Good that you coming in.
I have copies of this if anyone wants.
Thank you. Anybody else like to address the council? Well, having heard none, we'll go ahead and close the good and welfare portion. Appreciate everybody who had public comment coming down and sharing with us. It's good stuff. All right, I will now entertain a motion to move.
I will motion move to close our session for legal advice, real estate, and negotiated contracts.
Second.
All right. Roll call, please.
Robinson? Yes. Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall? Yes. Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Frost?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
This conference will now be recorded.
Motion to adjourn. Second. Meeting adjourned.